All right, greetings everyone. This is Hong Long from Hong Long Wuxia. I'm going to preface this with these things are really corporate cheese fests, but sometimes they do have some really good trailers. So let's check. Now, this is the first one, so let's check this out. I'll be muting the volume off and on during the thing. Although right now I can't hear a damn thing. The audio is unmuted. I don't know why it's... Or I'm not getting any PC audio. Oh, it's probably this is down here, damn it.
Look at baby day 9.
Oh, and I still look like that.
I mean...
And who could forget the PC gaming show 1969, live streaming from a surface of a little white rock that we call the moon.
Hey, what?
Wow. I don't know if it's my dwindling oxygen levels or the fact that my internal organs are floating weightlessly around my body. Man, this game is making me feel very dizzy with excitement.
I hope that bodes well for the possibility of space games being
Who could forget the PC gaming
showcased
show
today.
1350, a personal favorite of mine. Now, for fans of sticks and pebbles, prepare to lose thy stools for sticks and pebbles too. Developed by peasants and published by Microsoft. Simply boil some water to access it on Steam.
Sean, you know some of those things didn't really happen, right?
Oh, of course, Mika, I know. I'm not an idiot. Moon landing, sure.
Well, we have some more exciting news. No 10th anniversary show would be complete without our favorite Brit and gaming goddess. It's none other than Frankie Ward.
Thank you so much, Mika. It's great to see you and Sean again. And to celebrate 10 years, I even got us a little cake. But I do think I speak for everyone watching when I say, could you two stop goofing around and just get to the trailers already?
exactly
In a second, but Frankie, riddle me this.
because they're not too
Why aren't
funny.
you, like, here with us?
Well, I'm kind of expecting a pretty special delivery.
Oh, I get you. Big Amazon orders.
Yeah, makes
Can't miss
sense,
those.
yeah.
Sometimes you have to sign.
Right?
Something a little more important. I'll be here with my unborn mind flayer having a watch party. And I'm just gonna chill out here on the couch, have some snacks, and be on hand to jump in whenever the mood takes me. Also, why are you standing there like a couple of lemons anyway? You should take a page from my book and take a load off.
Ooh, hey, Frankie, I think you're onto something. I mean, this is way better.
Yeah, thank you, Frankie. And you know what? Thank you, chair scientists everywhere.
I'm glad you're both comfortable because we've got a great show today. Trailers to the most exciting upcoming PC games, exclusive world premiere announcements of brand new games, interviews and behind the scenes looks at upcoming releases, and lots more.
But first, let's kick off this year's 2024 PC gaming show with 3 huge world premiere announcements. Here we go.
Is this just? I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is just trailers or whether it also includes. Is this an award show too? Or do they just do that later? Well, that doesn't look very interesting so far. I was gonna say it looked like a little kid's game until I saw him running around with the axe. Is it like a new version of farming? Except with I don't know, penguin ducks? Peng ducks? Guaranteed I won't be getting this game. Well, last year I got 3 games that came out in the last year. One of them I got on sale though 8 months after the fact. That was Everspace 2. I got Baldur's Gate 3 and I got Homeworld 3. And Homeworld I've gotten further through so far vis-a-vis the time-wise than like Baldur's Gate. I'm still on. Still haven't gotten through Act 1. I'm in Underdark. And Everspace 2, I've gotten through like the first 4 or 5 missions.
From the creators of Golf Romantic and Kurzgesagt comes a new game in space.
Oh, here we go. Space game.
Meet the Starbirds. Help them claim nearby asteroids. You'll need to build stuff. You'll need to gather stuff. You'll need to connect stuff to other stuff to produce even more stuff.
ToeJam and
To
Earl
advance your technology
space
and
game.
reach for the stars.
Same
Explore countless
graphic artist, it
asteroids.
looks like.
They're packed with resources and come in all shapes and sizes.
Which is not
Stay
bad
curious.
as long as the game is
You never
good.
know what
But
you may find. Starbirds coming to a solar system near you. Wishlist now on Steam.
it was a rather quick trailer. Oh, here we go. World premiere of updated version of Berserker from the 80s. It does. It looks like a freaking updated version of Berserker with RPG elements. Looks like it's a mobile game. Not PC. That also doesn't appeal to me.
Lornvale looks great. A fantasy world with post-apocalyptic vibes, guns, but also magic. Sign me the heck up. And actually, Mika,
Yeah.
question for you. What do you think you would become in a lawless fantasy world? Seriously.
Well, I could see myself as like a ruthless bounty hunter, blasting away hordes of enemies with a 6-shooter, or maybe I'd become a silver-tongued traitor, you know, talking my way out of dangerous situations.
Wait, but what about me?
For you, I picture a dead body, you know?
Oh,
yeah.
well, that makes sense. I mean, I would die quickly.
Yeah.
People have always said I look like the Disco Elysium bloated corpse.
Right? It really checks out. Well, in Lornvale, it looks like both of our visions can come true. Hey, now, Sean, since we're talking about fantasy games, lots of them let you practice alchemy, right? But how
Sure.
about a tycoon game that lets you practice alchemy?
Oh, Mika, is your clever wordplay indicative of me getting to brew my own beer?
You are so right, Sean. It is, but more than just that. In our next game, you build and manage a monastery, keep your monks happy, and create your very own.
I think
ale
I've seen.
Oh, Mika, at last.
I think
a
we've
game
seen a
that
bit
caters
on
to
this
my desire
already.
for medieval, mead-based monastery management.
Roll out the barrels as we raise a goblet or two to Ale Abbey.
I can't remember whether it intrigued me or not. I don't think it did. But I do remember seeing seeing someone do a video on this game. This is a game that looks like it could have been made in 1989 or well, maybe not 1989, but maybe 1994, 1995. Could have been made on Nintendo, the NES, in the late 80s. All retro stuff. Is it only AAA publishers that put out modern games? This looks like an arcade game. Arcade style play. Now, an updated PC version of Gauntlet, with it's set in a modern world instead of a medieval world. Streets of Rogue 2. Didn't play the first one. Looks all right though. Not really as a single player game though.
I told you, my name is Ringo.
Tell me again, how does this thing work?
You just have to combine the words. Like this. Super Fire King! Found the weakness.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Careful with the face.
I've never been too enthralled with these. Well, this is a little bit different though. This is not just mashing buttons.
Seems that way.
I've never seen the stars.
But I've never been, never been a fan of the fighting games. I think that my favorite one was probably, or the one I wouldn't say favorite. The one I played the most was Soul Calibur 2, I believe it was. I haven't played it on the PC though. Yeah, there was another one that was pretty good, but for the most part, they were all just like, who can hit the buttons the fastest? No fun for me.
Coming up in the PC Gaming Show.
Now those all looked good. Card games. Gonna show me a trailer of a trailer and a show about trailers. Another kids game. It's the Mario genre. With the addition of building. I can see my kid playing that game. Who's in his 30s now. I probably won't play that one.
Zoe,
I probably would have played it like 20, 30 years ago.
You were looking for answers. For you, these centuries would have passed in an instant.
This looks good.
I once served your father. I helped him lay the groundwork for everything you see here. I am Savi. Welcome, Zoe.
Steel Seed. I mean, if that was taken from the game, those graphics look really good. But I don't know if it's a fighting game. I'll go back and play Elden Ring before I get into a new fighting game.
We need to move.
cartoon first-person shooter. Or anime, excuse me. It's pretty neat though. That doesn't look too shabby. Different and interesting.
Thugs like you were all the same.
Well, there is an offer that you can't refuse. So, how about you, good fella? Are you ready to get your knuckles bloody with fallen aces?
Well, Mika, I'd rather use a lead pipe. You know, because I have these fragile RTS digits.
Yeah, okay. Well, good news, Sean. You will recognize our next game, Stormgate, a real-time strategy game. It's given off some big StarCraft vibes, which is not surprising since it's being made by a team of former StarCraft developers. And hey, Sean,
I've seen this happen a few times.
Like hour
And this one
Oh yes,
looks
Mika,
really
I'd play
interesting.
Maybe even 3
This one looks
hours.
like it'd be a lot of
Dipped
fun.
a toe in a little bit.
Crazy.
But now for all you RTS fans out there, heads up, because with Stormgate, we've got a lot more than just a trailer. We visited the developer Frost Giant Studios for a close-up look at their new RTS. So get those hand stretches going, prop up your gaming chair, and stay hydrated. Prepare to do battle in Stormgate.
Before the Infernals invaded us on Earth and destroyed human civilization, they engaged in battle with their sworn enemies, the Celestial Armada. Angelic form merged with advanced technology. The Celestials fight unlike anything we've seen, harnessing both light and darkness. They have new ways to mine resources and centralized army production. Their flying arc ship cascades power, which they use to expand infrastructure, energize their army, and enhance their abilities.
Enemies beware.
Now, the Celestial Armada is here. Earth is the latest battleground, and the war, it's just getting started.
I'm not sure. I've seen a few really good RTS games that are coming out in the next year. That does not look like one of the better ones, so it does look like a good one.
The Celestial Armada is this dying alien race that is moving through the galaxy, and they are ancient beings that stretch back to the origins of the universe itself. And everything from their beings to their civilization to where they live is technologically driven. And we love playing into that mechanically with how they express themselves on the battlefield in the game. With each faction that we develop, we start with a core identity. The Vanguard, we have this plucky human resistance. They're about adaptability, and with the Infernals, we really explored the idea of a unit-focused faction that could have a different way of summoning their troops into the battlefield. With the Celestials, when we started out, we really wanted to push a lot of boundaries. And we thought, how can we make a building-focused faction? And also a faction that introduces map-wide mobility. They are anchored by this idea that they're descending into the atmosphere from the Celestial Armada. And so when you're playing as this faction and can build structures all across the map in different places very easily, in many ways it becomes this strategic dance about where the conflict is playing out on a map. So we've kind of shifted the focus onto the buildings themselves. There's going to be a lot of emergent gameplay that players will discover on their own that we are not planning for. And that's actually what we want from the Celestials. Is we want to give players a bunch of options, a bunch of flexibility, and a bunch of interesting toys to play with, and then see what comes out the other side. And if you're the type of player that really likes coming up with this innovative way to outsmart opponents, the Celestial faction is designed for you.
Was that a
With
Starport?
Celestials, we've really done something that is pure original thinking from this team that is not something that we've seen before in a real-time strategy game. And it took a lot of iteration to get to the point that it felt balanced and where it felt correctly comparable to the other two races.
Stormgate is a Blizzard-style RTS. And so by saying that we're continuing the legacy of Warcraft and StarCraft, we're really looking at that core RTS experience. But we really believe that even within a Blizzard-style RTS, there's a lot of room to innovate, and there's a lot of creative boundaries that can be pushed to bring new styles of play and new experiences for players. And so we are really excited about bringing a lot of new ideas into the genre. We want you to have this asymmetric experience where playing one faction or another faction really feels almost like a different game entirely.
Our technology runs at a higher tick rate than any real-time strategy game that's ever come before. In a nutshell, essentially what that means is, as a player, the time between clicking and seeing their actions take place is faster than any other RTS game that's really ever come out. As a player, it just feels really, really good to play.
Basically, you know, all of the RTS games were pretty much the same. There was a slight difference between Command and Conquer and the rest as far as the UI goes, but in general, throughout the 90s and early 2000s, almost all of the RTS games were basically the same, except for the graphics and the specific units that they had, or the specific races and things like that.
Approachable for new players coming in without taking away the high skill elements of the game that make RTS so exciting. Early access is much more about bringing the community along with us and benefiting from that feedback that the community provides us to really make the game what they tell us they want. We've been having conversations with the community, and together, hopefully, that we really are able to craft something that feels collaborative. We're sharing it at a much earlier stage than any game that we've worked on in the past. But it is a better way to make games. I believe that Stormgate, as it evolves, will turn into something that is literally the best game that we've ever worked on as a result.
We hope you've enjoyed this exclusive
Does look good,
first
though.
look at our Celestial faction. Stormgate's free to play. It's available to everyone, and we'll be launching fully into early access on August 13th. But
Free to
you
play.
can join us before then on July 30th by going to Steam and picking up one of our bundles that's available today.
Wait a minute. You just said it was free to play. What do you got to pre-purchase if it's free to play? What's that? It's free to play, but you need to come and buy it.
If you're excited for RTS Madness, wait until you hear this. I've been using pretzels to scoop up my ice cream instead of a spoon. Pretzels, they're like spoons you can eat.
Oh, solid logic, Frankie, but why are you telling me this now?
It's strategy, Sean. Optimum watch party strategy. No spoons, nothing to wash later. Get it? Here is another example. Let's say someone knocks on my door during the watch party. A regular person would get up and answer the door, but me? I just hurl this brick through my front window, and whoever was knocking runs away in terror. Bricks, they're like spoons you can throw.
I feel like I'm really starting to get you, Frankie. A window brick sounds totally overpowered. I think you're onto something.
My point is this. It's a really exciting time for strategy games on PC, and we've got so many more to show you today, starting right now. All you turn-based tactics fanatics out there do not want to miss this next one.
I'm still waiting for a turn-based tactics game that's like some of the board games that I played. I mean, other than like the Ogre, but like some massive ones. Like there was one that was like World War III. You'd have like thousands of units, which was a pain in the ass when you were playing with counters. This is a turn-based? Looks interesting. It's more of a micro thing though, rather than like huge wars. But it still looks pretty good. It looks more like a small missions. There you go. I think too many menus to stream that. It's a card game. I've never been a fan of the card games. I like real cards. I used to be a dealer, so. Need something for the Yu-Gi-Oh crowd. Magic. Toads of the Bayou. Oh.
When the demon looked upon the earth, it was the look of death.
So Camlet is really trying to summon a demon from another dimension. What a twat.
The primary mission is to sabotage Camlet's operation at any cost.
What a splendid hiding place.
How about a little switcheroo?
You got equipped with Thinamagics too.
You're not the only one with tricks up your sleeve.
Tight passages, traversing the rooftops, would require some cunning.
Don't mind me.
Did you just melt him?
It's an incredibly complicated chemical reaction. But yes. Impressive.
Terrifying.
It has its uses.
I've got glimpses of a strange machine he's been working on. I have no idea what it does.
We'll keep it simple then. Stab and shoot our way to the off button.
Diablo type game with better that kind of like that first one they did.
A career in archaeology would be
This is a Diablo game that's with like a sci-fi Diablo. There we go. Instead of medieval
Stealth,
fantasy.
tactics, a ragtag group of scientists, and a werebear. What a great world premiere trailer. And speaking of trailers, Mika, we've had a ton of them on the PC gaming show over the last 10 years. You want to hear some stats?
Oh my God, is Master Chief a Covenant killing machine?
Has and always will be, Mika. And in the first 10 years of this show, we've piped into your hungry little eyeballs over 79,018 seconds of exclusive PC gaming content, streaming in a plethora of languages and regions.
And that's not all, Sean. We have worked closely with developers to provide exclusive behind-the-scenes content and showcase some of the most exciting games of the past decade, all of which can be found over on our Steam page.
Indeed, and hey, how about a few more of those stats?
Ooh.
According to chat, a whopping 98.7% of
Surprised they
viewers
don't all show up
right
in
now
arm slings.
want us to hurry up and get on with the next trailer. So hey, can't argue with facts.
No, you can't.
Hey PC gamers, my name is Dave and I'm the director at Mighty Yell, and if you know us, you know we like to make things that are weird, uplifting, and fun. With those things in mind, I cannot wait to show you our brand new expressive dance battle adventure, All Systems Dance. All Systems Dance takes the fun of freely dancing and moving through a space, combines it with some tense arena combat and a heartfelt and funny story, all in the name of taking down an evil corporation. Look, we wanted to make a game
a bit
about
out of
dance
breath,
because,
isn't
well, we're not the greatest dancers. I'm not. But that doesn't matter. The thing about dance is that everyone can dance. And if everyone can dance, and dance is what you need to save the world, then maybe everyone can save the world. I'm gonna let
another
the
kid
teaser
game.
for itself, but please go to allsystemsdance.com for more information. Thank you for watching this, for being a part of this with us. And remember, the revolution will not be choreographed.
Oh, Gil Scott Heron
Perfect place for every Woosh citizen to work,
reference.
socialize, and relax.
For those of you who don't know, the revolution will not be televised.
So you never have to.
Don't believe their marketing and don't believe their messaging. This is the face of Whoosh. Look around. We are all
Joe
trapped
Scott
around
here,
this island. We are being watched
big,
and we have to
big,
fight back. I know they outnumber us,
actually
but we've discovered
considered
their
like
weakness.
the
Their
originator
weakness
of
is
rap.
Dance reprograms them. Dance makes them see us as more than just a number on a spreadsheet. You have to dance. You have to dance like your life depends on it. Take back control, free yourself, and feel the movement. The revolution will not be choreographed.
Says it kind of the same way too. The revolution will not be televised. It wasn't his best song, but the title was. That was one of his best albums, if not his best one. No, I like Pieces of the Man. Well, yeah, that's the one that was on. It's like Elite Dangerous, but you actually have something to shoot at as you're traversing the planet in your car, SRV. Perfect Random. I don't like this at all. What is with, I mean, this is like 2024. What's with all these graphics from like the 90s? Are these all indie developers? I think even indie developers, they have access to the Unreal 5 engine. I mean, so... Why? Well, it's a demo, but still.
Atlas 1-1, this is Zeus. Do you copy? Over. We've detected
This looks
the
nice.
anomalous presence in the Iron Corridor area. We need you to localize it and contain it.
Oh, look at that. That looks nice.
There's a lot of blue and red activity there. Do not engage. I repeat, do not engage. Your goal is simple. Search and contain the anomaly. I repeat, search. Atlas, do you copy? Respond, Atlas.
Looks good. And a horror first-person shooter. I'm really liking the Chernobyl light. So this one might be an option here.
Okay, Mika,
That's a
pop
follow-up
quiz.
to
But I
that.
didn't study, Sean.
Quiet, listen. Let's say you find yourself face to face
Okay.
with a huge mutant super soldier whose arm has been replaced by a chainsaw.
Okay.
What do you do?
Well, if I were a mad scientist working for an evil mega corporation, you know, like you do, I would probably replace its other arm with a grappling hook.
Oh my God, perfect, because that means you would fit right in at Tripwire Interactive, who have been working for years to bring us the next installment in the Killing Floor series. Now, for those of you who didn't know, the franchise has been a huge staple of the PC gaming show since its inception back in 2015. Tripwire have actually been at 9
Never played.
PC gaming shows. In the upcoming sequel, players will face off against a new upgraded generation of Zeds in this long-awaited co-op horror FPS.
And the Zeds aren't the only things that have gotten an upgrade. To learn more, we visited those mad scientists at Tripwire Interactive for this exclusive look at the guns and gore of Killing Floor 3.
Who's ready for a bit of fun then?
I'm not so much of a fan of these. It's kind of like the fighting games where you're just mashing the buttons. Now the Phantom game looked a lot. It's more my type of game. Kind of like a updated, what would you call it? Like an updated Space Invaders? As a first-person shooter? Or, what was it? Galaxian? You just shoot waves and waves and waves. As like a macro strategy game, I like those kinds, but for like an FPS,
action horror would be the thing that we
one of the reasons I haven't
from
played
the
Doom
beginning
4
with
yet,
Killing
or
Floor
Doom,
3.
is it Doom
It's really
4?
about
Doom
science
Eternal,
gone
whatever it
wrong.
is. I haven't
We
played
need
that
to
yet.
look at
It's-
this set, right?
That's
As
what
a
it
kid
looks
of the
like.
80s and 90s, I just loved the Dark Horse Aliens and Predator comics. There were some elements in there about trying to create biological weapons set in a thematically dystopian themed world. So we wanted to tie that in. But from Predator and Aliens, one of the things that you see the most is basically a group of well-trained badasses who have to use every single bullet, every single grenade, every single weapon to handle the things that they're being faced with, these kind of insurmountable odds. Those moments are what motivate us, and that's when Killing Floor is at its best.
There's just a combination of just so many small elements that we've improved over Killing Floor 2 experience. We've increased the amount of Zeds that are in the world at one time, so the battle feels way more epic.
We knew we wanted Zeds to become more challenging. We're increasing how they get to you, how they damage you, so the cone of danger has essentially increased dramatically. Anywhere on screen Zeds can be, so I have to kind of keep my head on a swivel and really learn how to prioritize my targets. It's not essentially what's closest to me, but what can get to me faster, what's going to do more damage. It's just more ways to kind of amplify not only the action, but that horror element as well in KF3.
We have like very detailed hit detection system now, and you can blow off any limb. Every bullet hole that hits it stays there permanently. Exactly where you burn the creature is where you'll see its flesh burned. We actually have Zeds where you can blow limbs off and they'll keep fighting you if it's not a critical spot of that Zed.
Most of our Zeds have somewhat of a critical zone on it. So certain Zed tech, like on the flesh pound, on his back, on his chest, they'll glow. If you shoot that, it will explode off and expose like an inner critical zone that when you shoot will kind of deal the ultimate killing blow to that Zed. One thing that's always felt great in Killing Floor is shooting things in the head. We wanted there to be variety when you do that. Their heads are made up of multiple meshes so that it can essentially open up and kind of randomizes what that head could look like. There is the opening shot of Day of the Dead, where there's literally just a massive tongue and maybe like a few teeth hanging there. We're very big horror fans, so there's kind of like little Easter eggs throughout everything. That impact and that feedback and that variation makes shooting things in the head feel incredibly rewarding. We hope you enjoyed that exclusive look at Killing Floor 3. For more information, visit killingfloor3.com and wishlist now.
What a beautifully twisted and nightmarish
say that
story
sentence to
game.
somebody in
I've already
a
added it to my
casual
wish list
conversation
with
at
this,
work
Mika.
without referencing
I've
gaming.
also been in their Discord for 3 weeks.
Sean, that is the Discord for Cleaning Floor 3, the mopping simulator.
Oh, I mean, I was kind of wondering why there was so little chat about killing Zeds and so much about preventing streak marks on kitchen floors.
All right, let's leave Zeds behind because in our next game, there is a different type of mob filling the streets. Thousands of screaming sports fanatics. You can manage traffic, security, and logistics for athletes and fans in football tycoon game Coppa City. Here's the world premiere trailer.
I want to be a football team owner. I want to be a football team owner.
This city is about to experience a football game that could be the greatest it has ever seen. You are responsible for how it will go down in history. Get ready to host the biggest clubs from all around the world. You will have to manage every single detail. Prepare for thousands of fans swarming your city. Filling the streets with energy you can only get from football fever. But remember, safety is a top priority. It's all in your hands. Can you find the right balance?
The fans are getting excited, but the pressure on the organizers is rising.
Can you give them what they want? Can you create a night they will remember forever? Everything comes down to your decisions. Clubs, engage thousands of fans, create a
Graphics look pretty incredible, but
Coppa City 25, the first football
I'm
tycoon.
not sure I'm kind of into the. I'm not sure I'm too interested in the behind the scenes for the football. I've kind of like given up on the FIFA thing, so I don't think I want to return. That might be a whatchamacallit, copyrighted stuff, so we're taking that audio out. And I can tell you, I'm definitely not getting this game. Unless it's as a present for someone. I think that's probably why they're showing the subtitles down here, is because this is copyrighted material, and they assume that everybody who's doing a watch party is muting everything. But then why play it? Although I wouldn't see why, because this seems to be specifically written for this game. And I don't know anything about it. It looks like a building game, maybe? I don't know. Oh, an advertisement. Oh. curated. I thought it was just kept stacking up. Why buy them when you can? Well, I think there's like a limit of how much. No, I don't think there is. Because I had it, and I had like 4 or 5 games that I downloaded. I mean, once I'd run out of room on my computer for the games, then I would start to delete them. But because I think I played AOE 3 or 4, whatever it was, that was out like a couple years ago. I had like 4 or 5 games at once on the computer, and I didn't buy any of them. But it is a good. I mean, if you play a lot of games, then that Game Pass is great. All right, what's this? Again, with the retro graphics. The thing about those games is, I mean, you know, there's a shitload of them that are out from the 90s and early 2000s that I can sit there and get for $1 or $2. So why do I want to pay for 50 or 60 bucks for a regular game when I can buy 60 of them?
They said, well, it's Texas, of course we can hunt you. And I said, what's that? The one thing the games industry needs more than a corporation that gives a shit about developers and their players is WASP slander. Now, I could tell you about how Strange Scaffold, the studio behind El Paso Elsewhere, is making an exciting new action game, but if you get anything out of this next trailer, I hope it's that WASPs are evil bastards and they should be shot on sight. Thank you.
Where are you hiding? The more you hide, the more agents we send. And the more agents we send, well, come on out, you big bitch.
Okay.
Wait.
Agent down.
Anime first-person shooter. Doesn't look too bad though.
Harding's here.
I can't see me getting this game, but I could see this one being popular. Looks pretty good.
What do you wish for?
I am your beast.
The cataclysm left us broken. Lost. But we rose, piece by piece. Night after night. They broke us once. But I see no broken souls today. I see a people carved from stone. And with this stone, we will rebuild.
What I saw was looking pretty good,
Coming up in the PC Gaming Show.
but it wasn't enough to make me want to go out and buy it. So I'm still not sure what kind of game it is, but the graphics and the play looking pretty interesting.
Listen, I don't care what you were doing back on Earth, shooting hobos in tracksuits or sweating in a bush in some godforsaken jungle. This is nothing like what you've ever faced. Our intel confirms enemy
Hobos in
operators deployed in
tracksuits?
AO. And it seems like those alien freaks can be killed with light. Keep your mission objective a priority, and I'll see you on the other side.
Level 0
Moving out.
extraction. That's like the 6th time they did that leaning thing on there. 7. Eight, 9. Alright, I'll quit counting now. That was 10. At least. It doesn't look too bad either.
Excellent work as always, Day 9. What's up, everybody? I'm Tasteless, and I am joined with David Kim and Artosis. Today, we're going to be talking to you about a very exciting new game, Battle Aces, a fast-action RTS.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. So this first building that you see right here is my core. This is where my units train out of. And also, if I lose the core, then I lose the game.
It seems like in this game, you can expand, like, within seconds of it starting. Is that correct?
Yeah, so right when the game starts, you have enough resources to either expand, tech, or build an army to attack with.
Keck.
You know, something that we keep seeing show up on this screen right now is that intelligence bar. This is one of my favorite things about Battle Aces, where you can immediately see not just your unit deck, but your opponent's as well, and start strategizing from the get-go.
For sure. And not only that, I can also see the precise, I guess, tech progress of my opponent and vice versa too. So we can strategize very precisely in this game.
So with these unit decks, you can make almost any combination of units. How many units exactly
are they talking about what we're showing over here?
Right now?
Yeah, so we have 45 units planned for the closed beta, but we'll be adding new units every single season, so the possibilities of strategy will be endless.
Now, I notice here on the intelligence bar, you can see you're teching up, your opponent is taking that faster third base, and I see you're playing like a very defensive, tech-oriented game, whereas your opponent is playing a bit more fast-paced, right? Like he's running around, he's doing the attacks.
I don't know what they're talking about. Are they talking about this over here?
Can you tell us about the different types of strategies that can be used for different players?
It's gotta
be.
In
this specific game, I'm trying to show off a more easier way to play, so you'll notice that I'm not really clicking all that much kind of thing. So my basic strategy is in tier 1, I have these recall units that can teleport back to any of my bases, making it a very easy defensive option. And I'm straight teching to king crabs that are very strong at harassing enemy bases and expansions.
Now, game timers and RTSs is not like a new thing, but what's interesting about this one is that this game counter is counting down. What's the story with that?
Yeah, so we have a max game limit of 10 minutes in this game. So when the timer reaches 0, then the game will end. And the winning player is whoever has the higher score when that happens.
Now, we notice that
I don't
two
like
king
that
crabs
at
you have,
all.
they seem to be on a stealth mission here. It seems like you're skirting the bottom of the map, maybe going up for a little bit of harassment, a little bit of counterattacking.
Yeah, for sure. So I sent 2 to the back so that I can take down one of these bases, hopefully. And while playing a defensive game, but the enemy noticed that, and because he can't, he was kind of off position, that's why he went all in on my third base.
Yeah, it looks like he will end up killing off your third base here.
This is not
and
a
in fact
good
brings in
trailer
a
or
huge
preview. I mean, it's
army,
like
but it
we
looks
don't
like
really
he
know
will
what's
defend,
going
unfortunately, losing
on.
that third base.
Yeah,
I mean, we
I
do know
do
that
have a bigger
that thing that was
army,
destroyed
and I
there
able
was
to
the
save those 2 king crabs and bring them back.
we were told it
So
was their
I'm feeling
core,
pretty good about this.
and the game would end when it was destroyed.
Yeah,
but
it looks like you're pushing forward, and that is a very scary army with that many king crabs. Let's see how you end up doing. It does look like it's going to end up being a rout, even taking down his flying units there. It looks like you've done a great job this game, David. And, you know, I got to say, guys, I've played a lot of Battle Aces. And if you want a more in-depth look at the high skill expression available, check it out at playbattleaces.com.
And we'll be starting our beta very soon, in a few weeks. So please make sure to sign up for the beta.
that's what they
while
should
you're
have said
there.
at the beginning, and then
And
they
be
should have
sure
shown
to
us
wish listed
clips
on Steam.
of gameplay.
Thank you so much for joining us. That's all the time we
And-
have.
and-
Day 9, back
Yeah,
to you.
they didn't really explain that very good. But I don't like that whole countdown thing. 10-minute time limit.
Thanks, Artosis. And Nick Tasteless Plot, my literal brother that refers to me by my internet moniker.
Well, now, Sean, Frankie told us there'd be a lot of great new strategy games in our show, and you know, she was right. There has never been a better time to be a PC gamer and an RTS fan. And with the lightning-fast action of its 1v1 and 2v2 modes, Battle Aces is a big reason why. Next up, Citizen Sleeper 2.
Wait, wait, I'm sorry. I thought I was
no,
gonna...
I thought it...
It's me,
Oh,
right?
no.
Well, look.
Okay.
If you don't mind, it'll be
Yeah,
a little
no,
mix-up, but
go for it. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
The world of a malfunctioning android housing the digitized consciousness of a human being can be treacherous existence at the best.
I was supposed to introduce that trailer. Me, Mika. And then he just swoops in and steals it. Ho ho, you've made a powerful enemy today, Plot.
Mika, is everything okay?
Yeah, what? Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Okay,
Yeah.
great. As I was saying, this new installment.
Keep talking, day 9, and you won't have 9 days left after I...
Look, Mika,
What?
we can all hear your thoughts.
What? How?
Well, yeah, you recorded them earlier, you know, in the voiceover studio. I mean, that's the audio that's getting piped into the studio right now. Guys, can we go ahead and mute 003 Mika's internal rage.wave right now?
You got it, Sean.
I'm sorry, I just, I really wanted to introduce the trailer. I'm like the TTRPG girl.
Okay, you know what? Honestly,
yeah.
totally fine. Go
You
ahead.
sure? Okay.
Oh,
You've
no,
lost
he's
your
gonna do
memory,
it.
And there's a bounty on your head.
Okay, wait, hold on. Where are my vengeful thoughts?
Oh.
Sorry, Sean. They got taped over with one of our nature documentaries.
All right, well, just play that, I guess.
Well, as I was saying, you've lost your
The
memory.
Bolivian gulping iguana sounds its mating call, a noise often described as nature's dumbest sound.
Oh, forget it. Just cue the dang thing.
Well, in all of its uninterrupted glory, here's our first ever look at the gameplay in Citizen Sleeper 2, which I got to announce and not Sean.
Wake up, Sleeper. We're in trouble. Lane's closing in, and we need this next contract to go right. But nothing's gone right so far.
Nothing has gone right.
That
Space game.
contract Carson gave us was trouble from the start. Junie? I didn't trust her. Not for a moment. That derelict was a death trap. Suddenly, it was all over. But we've got to bounce back. We've secured the contract. So let's talk, crew. How about Nia? She was handy with that drone. Stopped the whole thing blowing up in our faces. Or Eugene. He's a loudmouth, but he's tough as hell. Although he did forget to tell us about Vesna. Or we find someone new, but new crew have new problems. The belt is wide, Sleeper. So whatever comes at us next, just remember, nothing in the belt ever runs smooth.
I don't know if I get it, but it does look interesting. Gotta see some actual play. Demon School. I know absolutely nothing about that game except it's an anime game. It's like another anime game. Oh, that must have been the end of the other one. Because it doesn't look anything like what we just seen. That fishing dude doesn't look like it's involved in this game. I don't know. Didn't see enough of that to understand anything about it. Maybe a Tetris type game? It's like one of those games you'd see on Amazon. Or not Amazon, on Facebook. Okay. What is this? Not interested at all. Oh my god. It's a space game, but it's like looks like a space game made with
Wish you could keep track of all the games
1990s graphics.
Well, that's
Less worse
exactly
than
what wish list
1980s
before.
graphics. It looks like
The
more like
PC
Atari
Gaming Show's
graphics.
Steam page is a one-stop shop where you can fill up your wish list with
Or slight
every
step
single
above
game we're
Atari
featuring on our
2600
show.
graphics.
Make it quick though. We've got an unbeatable trailer coming up. That's no exaggeration. It really is unbeatable.
Let me guess, the game's unbeatable. Another anime game? I don't know about them. We're gonna take that music off. I'm guessing, I don't know. Okay, this is probably gameplay right here. So a side scroller. I have no idea. I think it might be a side scrolling game. Okay. I don't know. Not really sure what that was, other than what it's. Another gauntlet type game. Odin Fall. Unearth the mystery of the core. All right, so what are we doing? This doesn't appeal to me at all. I said this is—it's like a throwback. Every half of 90, well, like 75% of these games seem like a throwback to like late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, it's to me, it's like all of these games are developed by one or two guys who don't have financial resources. Core Keeper full 1.0 and console launch coming soon.
That is a double shot of exciting news. Core Keeper's upcoming 1.0 launch and Twin Stick Shooter's Odenfall coming to early access later this year.
Okay, Mika, I can't wait to show everyone our next game, and it's so exciting. I'm gonna need to stand up for this. You should stand up too.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
It's hard to think of a better combination than the team behind the gloriously gory medieval warfare slasher Chivalry 2 and this classic zombie survival horror game.
The game that just came out last year and is available free
Brace
now on
yourself for
Epic.
8-player co-op, permadeath, and the terrifying cinematic
I didn't even-
experience
I didn't even-
of No More Room in Hell.
I didn't
So
even
let's take a
save
look.
it as a free game, so.
Yeah, you're gonna want to sit down for this.
But I just stood up.
Torn
Banners 2 is a permadeath horror co-op game.
You start with a flashlight with no weapons, and you're exploring in the dark, and you're trying to find your first friend and your first weapons to get some safety.
You find more gear, you find more people. It's suddenly 4 players, 6 players, 8 players, up to that final showdown at the power plant, where hordes of zombies are pouring in and are using explosives and assault rifles to overcome that final challenge.
Like with Chivalry, combat is the first thing we focused on, being Torn Banner. We want that game feel just
Germans,
really intense, and it's
huh?
part of the immersion. Every run is different. We're looking at how do we deliver the Hollywood cinematic experiences. You know, how do we put you in a place that you've never been before, but you've always wanted to be. It's like a co-op game with consequences. And the fun becomes, how long can I survive the zombie apocalypse?
Looks more interesting than Chivalry 2. Looks like a lot like, what was that? Left 4 Dead. (1976), somewhere in Scandinavia. Oh, it's a bear.
Friendly Mustang has arrived on the battlefield.
This looks like a more interesting first-person shooter.
Take the electrotube to your radio transmitter.
Got to fight the bears! Strident. That doesn't look too bad. Available tomorrow. DDS2. Sakov City. Well, that's a switch in the graphics. There's like 3 or 4 different types of graphics in this game. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, it's a card game. Inferno.
Peggy 18.
Pre-alpha footage. Death Sprint 66. That was interesting. It's kind of like one of those other games that they put out earlier, but with better graphics. Maze Runner type game. That didn't look too bad. I won't get it.
Gore meets parkour.
Unless I meet some chick who's really into the game.
And here I
wants to
thought
play
the worst
with
thing that could happen while jogging is jogging. Now, you've heard of motorbikes and motorboats, but how about motor brooms? In Crescent County, you can escape to a beautiful and wholesome island of witches, where you don't just fly around on boring old wooden brooms. You suit them up, trick them out, and use them for drifting, racing, and running a high-speed delivery
think I've
service.
seen a
Let's
clip
take a
of this
visit
before.
to Crescent County.
But maybe not. It says it's a world premiere. Although, well, I might have seen a different clip. Better turn that off, huh? I guess I can see how this is to be a kid's game. It's not something for me, or probably anybody who watches my channel. But it does look like it'd be fun for kids, especially if it's co-op or multiplayer.
Creative director Anna Hollenreich. Anna, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here.
Now, that was a lovely trailer, and I'd love if you could just walk us through a little more of what we just saw.
It's kind of if you imagine Kiki's Delivery Service meets the Bikes of Kira, set on a rural witch tech island. It's a game about finding yourself kind of as a proto-adult, and I'm really interested in this question of how do you find home in a new space? How does a place become yours? By day, you're driving around the island, making deliveries to the locals, and then by night, you're racing around the island with the characters that you've befriended along the way, or, I don't know, maybe you want to get one of the characters to date you, but you need a bed frame because they have self-respect. I believe me.
You did say that you took some personal experiences into this. It's so real. Okay, so talk to me a little bit about where the idea for Crescent County came from.
It's inspired by my first ever proper video games job where I moved to the Isle of Wight. I couldn't stop doing this witch tech mashup. I couldn't stop drawing it. I was going to Comic-Cons, I was selling art about it, and I've been working in big teams on things like Fall Guys. But I knew that if I didn't launch myself out into the unknown, I would never forgive myself.
So you're taking this big leap into making this game, and it's in the cozy genre. What sets your game apart from most?
So this is a delivery life sim game, right?
So it's an independent
street racing
developer?
I really
Just one
love
person?
genre mashups. I think that they're so interesting, and I love making worlds that feel warm and lived in and loved, where people feel, you know, relaxed and safe. But also, if you want to amp things up, you can trick out your motor broom to the point where you're almost flying and smash into your friends with all your sigil sticker powers.
What about it excites you the most, though?
We're really interested in making this island feel very relaxing to drive around, but also hiding all of these little shortcuts and jumps and boosts all over the place so that it can be just as intense and chaotic sometimes as well.
Where can everyone get their hands on Crescent County?
So this game means
Steam?
the absolute world to us. It's a bit of my heart, it's a bit of my soul, and if it interests you, please add it to your wish list.
Like I said, it looks pretty
Crescent
good for
County
kids.
Looks amazing, Sean, and it is just oozing with charm.
Well,
I'm definitely making
from what
Uber
she
at the
said,
top
maybe
of my
older
list.
kids.
And if you want to wishlist Crescent County and
Kids
all
over
the other great
14.
games you've seen on our show today, they're all located in one place, the PC Gaming Show Steam page.
Okay, it's time to put the brooms away as we take a look at some other wickedly good releases.
Well, it's been on over for an hour now. I thought we'd seen a whole lot of indie games already. Launched 2 days ago.
Sam Walker, and I am the last man standing. I steel myself for what's to come. I may not survive this, but at least I'll go down fighting. Fighting for a chance to make things right. Even if it's too little too late.
That one didn't look too shabby. I'm definitely not going to get this. I just look at it. The name. And now, how do you have an IP that is this big, okay, and you're going to put out a freaking game with this kind of graphics? And don't tell me this is an indie game with the G.I. Joe IP. Help Lily find her sister. Looks like a little kid's game. Endless replayability. Renaissance Kingdom Wars. Oh, that looks pretty wicked. It looks interesting, but it didn't really show any gameplay, so you can't really tell. And this music sounds like from Toe Jam and Earl. And seeing as how I only have like 5 people who watch that stream, we probably won't be getting this.
Set out on the
Because I'm streaming everything I play now.
and find your voice. For it is the sound of the instrument that soothes your father.
I don't know where to go, where to search for it.
Play a note at the melody whereof a great sight one can cast.
Now this one looks good.
Whereby the heavy cup of
A Mario type game, but with much better graphics. That looks interesting. That one might be a possibility. I have to say a little bit more or spend my money on it. Wow. Right now I got money to spend. Cat Quest. It's like a mobile game. I'm just not getting it. I mean, all of these games, well, a lot of these games, they just look like they could have been made like 20 years ago.
Hello, my name is Nicole He, and I'm working with Nereal and Devolver Digital to make the world's first first-person shooter, The Crush House. So in the game, you've been hired to produce 1999's hottest reality show, and your job is to choose the cast, film the drama, and give the audience what they are thirsting for. But remember, never, ever speak to the talent. Anyway, all the different audience groups want to see different things, so let's see who's tuning in today. All right, we've got the divorced dads. They want to see bromances, meat on the grill, strong male emotions, you know, divorced dad stuff. And the fish freaks are here. We've earned money from ads, so let's put some fish in the tank for them. This is normal for reality TV. And the film students are watching, and they want to see
Not getting
all
this
from a
game.
Dutch angle, of course. Hold on, butt guys in the chat, let's see what they have to say. Pants are a prison for the ass, if that's what you want, Sir Mix-a-Lot. You know, if we combo all the different things that they want to see in frame together, the ratings will go up even more. Chat is loving it. And no matter how crazy the audience requests are, we have to satisfy them, or else the show will be canceled. But don't worry if things do go wrong. This is reality TV after all. Just pick a new cast, start the season over, and maybe this time we'll make it to the series finale of The Crush House.
Yeah, it's not. I said it could have been made 20 years ago. This is like graphics from the 90s. Oh, so they'll be showing this tomorrow in the next festa. A space game! Woo! Finally! Oh, I've seen ads for this game. The graphics look really good, but I'm not sure that I would get into this play. I might. Better turn that off. I don't know if that's copyrighted music or not. one that everybody's saying is shit because they've taken out everything. Oh, and they charge like 100 and what some bucks for it. Before we buy that one, we have to see some really good reviews first. So far, every review I've seen has been shit. Ah, another side scroller from the 80s. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with them. But I've kind of moved on from these types of games like 20, 30 years ago. I could see myself playing one every now and then, but I mean, literally every second game has been something like this. Fidlock, the Siege of Dawn! Now, see, this looks like a 2020 plus version of Mario Brothers. Is this music I would have to... Oh, well, I've had it off. I've had the sound off. I forgot to put it back on. World War II. '83 is the name of the game? Not really sure. It says wish list, but it's out now. Mullet Mad Jack. Oh my lord, this is like it's like the original Wolfenstein graphics.
Destroy these damn robots! Okay, boss. Roger.
I mean, what? Are all the games that are coming out on PC, 90% of them being made by somebody out of their garage with no money? I don't understand. I mean, except for the little cartoon captions in here, this is Wolfenstein, original version.
Mullet Mad Jack.
Sean, I am sad to say it, but we're not a million miles away from the end of our show.
What? Already?
Oh, wait. Sean, are you about to yell no and dramatically wave your fist at the sky?
No, I just thought I was going to sneeze. Anyways, as you were saying.
Right, well, we don't have much left in the show, so it's time to...
Sorry, it turns out I am allergic to shows nearing conclusion.
Well, as I was saying, it is time to share something very special. We are living in a golden age of city builders, and there's something out there for everyone. Strategy, survival, puzzle games, co-op, there are even some really great, cozy, no-stress city builders.
And it's true. But even with all the city builders I play, I can honestly say that we've never seen one quite like this. From a very talented team of developers who made games like Mark of the Ninja and Gone Home, let's watch the world premiere of Generation Exile.
Our generation ship was to travel hundreds of years across the stars so we could build a new world for humanity. We had tried to restore Earth's ravaged ecology. The desperate solution nearly wiped us out instead. And now it's on the ship. And it's growing. There are only a few thousand of us left, and we cannot repeat the past. In our ship's closed ecosystems, resources are finite. Nothing can go to waste. Every bit of scrap needs to be salvaged, reclaimed, and repurposed into what we need to survive. Materials, food, water, air. We might not always work well with each other. We might squabble, we might stumble, but we are all we have. As we're building a balanced ecosystem, years will go by like minutes. We must adapt to each other and to the unknown. We're not just learning to build a sustainable future. Everyone on board is living their own story, and your story will be different from mine. Can we escape the mistakes that drove us from our home? Because every decision we make now will determine if humanity earns a second chance.
I haven't heard about that one. Could be House of Possibilities. What's with the blurring? Or is that my eyes?
Generation Exile is a sustainable solarpunk city builder with a reactive emergent narrative that changes every single time the game is played. You are aboard a generation ship traveling for several hundred years, leaving a ecologically ravaged Earth behind, attempting to find a new home for humanity. And so rather than repeat the failings of Earth in the past, you need to find a new way to develop a society that is sustainable and can thrive.
Your job is to make sure that you shepherd humanity successfully to the destination planet and that they live to get there and there's enough people to keep humanity going.
Players' goals differ a bit from traditional recognizable city builders, where yes, you know, you're still having to provide the basics for your society, food, shelter, clean water, but there's kind of this unquestioned notion that we see both in a lot of strategy games, but also just in the world around us, where it's like, oh, well, when we need more resources, we can just keep extracting, we can just keep growing and growing and growing. It's simply not possible to keep expanding forever. And that is a thematic element of the game for sure, but I think part of that has come from just looking at the industry around us, where all the goals are just like, what are the returns for the next quarter? You know, we see the harm that is caused by that single-minded focus on how can we extract as much value in the short term. And the people who are the harmed the most by that are the thousands of people who in the last 6-8 months have lost their jobs, right? So as you make your way through the game and progress through the game, rather than just infinitely getting bigger, it's about becoming more regenerative, to like use only what you have around you because there's no external source of anything else.
Fundamentally, you're on a spaceship. You got what you got.
What we wanted to achieve is to take a relatively recognizable set of city building mechanic, but having more narrative and story elements there as well. Because the thing that is so rich about city builders is that they're so systems dense, and that game state is all very much driven by the choices and decisions that the player is making. But the opportunity then we saw is to look at all that in the city building layer game state, and then
Drag it out into the narrative.
Exactly.
Kicking and screaming.
but in a good way.
In a good way.
Where rather than, you know, just like everyone's gonna play through the game and at turn 15, this thing happens, then at turn 25, this thing happens. Instead, you can just have authored narrative events that are reactive to whatever choices you've made, like weird ecology things that are occurring aboard the vessel, or
they're situations.
various crises.
Yeah.
Small and large. We're able to provide the player the ability to make consequential specific decisions that are divorced from just the pure systems of the game, which then informs the events that will occur in the future, so that at the end, there will be echoes of the decisions you've made along the way. It should feel like the journey to get there is one that you uniquely experience, and the conditions that you finish with are ones that are reactive to all the decisions you made leading up to that point. The game can be wish listed right now on Steam, and folks can also just go to sonderluststudios.com to sign up for our newsletter and learn more as we roll things out. There'll be more delicious tidbits in there.
Will they be delicious?
They'll be delicious.
How delicious?
Doesn't look too bad if you're into city builders, which I'm
A
not.
huge thanks to the good folks at Sonderlust for letting us take a look inside their new sci-fi city builder, Generation Exile.
It looks incredible, and the amount of love and work the team have put into it really shines through.
Now look, we are under no illusion that this last year has been incredibly difficult for so many developers in the face of thousands of layoffs and countless studio closures.
Today we are so grateful
And
for
why?
the chance to put a spotlight on many people really continuing to make games in the face
Capitalism.
of uncertainty.
And if there's any game you saw in
Subordination
our show or
of
any other
everything
many
to the
showcases,
private
we
profit
encourage
of
you
just a
to
few,
purchase,
well,
or even just wish
of the
list any of
billionaires.
the games for developers that you care about. It goes a long way.
And the thing is, you know, the gaming industry is
Next
like
up,
100
you'd think
times
the
bigger
sight
than
of a house
the
standing up and walking
film
around
industry.
on two weird massive chicken legs would be horrifying. But
On
when you
90%,
realize it's
or
taking
mo-
some heavy witch vibes from everyone's favorite Slavic folklore character, Baba Yaga, it's actually pretty awesome. Reka is the base building exploration game.
Almost
you
all of
purchase
the
for
profits go to the guys who own everything, own the places. Whereas, like in the film, you at least have, you know, you have at least like A-list actors, directors, and such who get paid very well. But in the video game industry, the same people get paid a pittance compared. I mean, actors in video games, unless you are a top A-list actor in the movie industry, which very few of them who do the video games are, you're not making anything. And now, with the deal by Replica Studios, a lot of this is going to be done by AI. So they're pocketing more and more money, and yet, as you can see from what we've seen in these previews, most of the games look like they could have been made 20 frickin' years ago, because they don't want to pay anybody anything. Seriously, the amount of the video game industry dwarfs that of the film and television industry. Yet the remuneration that the guys get for making it and writing it and directing it
We
and
are
acting
the
it
only ones
is a
celebrating
pittance
an anniversary.
compared to what they make
iBuyPower
in the
is
film
hitting
industry.
a major milestone of their own, having been around for 25 years. iBuyPower is a fully independent and leading manufacturer of high-performance pre-built and custom gaming PCs based in North America. As a special thanks for 25 years of powering the PC gaming community, iBuyPower is giving away one of their official VCT Americas PCs, the RDY Y70 Valorant VCT AR002. This bad boy boasts a hefty AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D CPU, a GeForce RTX 4070 Ti, and 32 gigs of DDR5 5600 MHz RAM. Did I also mention it's got iBuyPower's 240mm RGB?
This computer is almost 3 years old now, and I've got 32
Head over to
gigabytes of RAM.
PCgamer.com/survey. And now, back to more trailers.
Meet the lock creatures. Their language brings them to life and expands their society. Learn and spell their words, each with its own special ability to change the environment in deep and surprising ways. Play the Lock Digital demo, available today.
Not really sure what that's all about. You gotta tell us a little bit more about your game if you want us to go look at it.
Just wizards for some reason. One team is unstoppable. Not yours. Hers. The Black Ops Chronomancer. Her team of needlessly fancy goons have brought the world to the brink of war. And only one group of mismatched rejects stands in her way. A disgraced retired Navy seer who can see every possible future, but can't remember his own tragic backstory. The freelance Storm Witch, a private investigator whose mastery of lightning is devastating, unless her enemies aren't standing near windows. The Necromedic, a surgeon who turned to necromancy when she lost her medical license. She can heal you, but she'll have to kill you first. The Rebel Riot Priest, your heavy support.
I like that one.
Is her armor. But she is also wearing actual armor. Together, there's no threat they can't stop. As long as they can get there by public transport, they can rewind every time they screw it up. And there's an easy mode if they need it. Tactical Breach Wizards. Coming to Steam.
Looks
August
interesting.
20th. Demo available now. Also, could you wish list it, please? Thanks.
Wow, what a show so far. I'm absolutely loving it. And don't forget, you can do more than just watch this amazing lineup of games. You can play them too. Visit the PC Gaming Show Steam page to wishlist all the titles you've seen on today's show, all in one convenient, clickable place. Now, do you love history? Do you also love lists with between 9 and 11 items on them? Then today is your day. For our 10th anniversary, we've counted down the 10 biggest moments in PC gaming over the past decade. You can see where your favorite moments landed by visiting PCgamer.com/10. Right, time to grab some friends and head for the sky, where you can turn floating islands into your personal skyships and soar through the clouds. It's co-op survival craft made cozy. Here's an uplifting look at Aloft.
Hello, I'm Manuel Bergeron, founder and creative director of Astrolab Interactive. It is my greatest pleasure to announce that we just launched a new multiplayer demo for our game Aloft, a sandbox survival game set in the sky. Take a look at our new trailer for a few more surprises. Enjoy.
Aloft. not really sure what that's about. City builder? Yes, but what else? I had quite a few of those games when I was a young man. Again, this could have been made 20 years ago. 30 years ago, actually. New take on 3D gaming, but more anime. Ancient Forge presents. All right, you're building the stuff? For what purpose? Are you building the Hotel Galactic? And what's with the anime cutscenes? Gotta tell us. And these guys get paid probably $100 grand. The guys who are doing the putting these damn things together a year. Dude, tell us what the fuck the thing is about.
I can sort this, right? I just need time.
Don't you answer me back!
Squish.
You're fired. You hear me? Fired.
Fired.
Jesus, Gregor! Gregor!
Alright, singing, we gotta turn the sound off. This doesn't look too shabby. This looks like it was made in the last 10 years at least. Still wakes the deep. But you still don't, I mean, that looked better. That looked like the best one I've seen in the last 10 minutes,
Dude,
15
Hotel
minutes.
Galactic
But I don't know what it's about.
Right?
Oh my God, it does. And
I guess you're
honestly,
escaping
I would just
from
love
something?
To manage a bed and breakfast for alien travelers. I just worry that my quaint taste and timeless valence bedspreads just might not be suitable for interdimensional species tastes. I don't know. What do you think, Mika?
Sean, look at me. If anybody can create the cutest bed and breakfast for interdimensional space beings, it's you. It's this guy.
Oh, you always care, Mika.
Oh, I know I do. And you know what else I care a great deal about? It's the developers at the Chinese Room getting back to their roots for more first-person horror. Still Wakes the Deep looks atmospheric as hell and positively chilling.
Amen to that, Mika. And hey,
What else have
speaking
they
of
done?
chilling,
I'll have to look
get
that up.
ready to side-scroll your way through a 2.5D post-apocalyptic zombie survival with Into the Dead.
Set in 1980s Texas, you are charged with gathering resources, managing party members, and crafting items, all whilst hordes of killer zombies try to chomp down on your brains.
And what's worst of all is that this is taking place during a scorching heat wave.
Oh my God, and as someone who lives in California, I can confirm that's way worse than zombies.
I feel you. I mean, my
California,
family's Irish.
California.
Sunburned by
Try
the
living out here in Vegas. Our temperature dropped about 9 degrees because we had clouds, so it was like 99 out there instead of 109 today. You said a side scroller? Well, see, now this is a side scroller that has updated graphics. This was not a side scroller that was made 20 or 30 years ago.
Hi PC Gaming Showcase, I'm Tanya from KitFox Games, and I'm here to show you 3 different games today. So let's start with Dwarf Fortress.
Hi, I'm Zach Adams.
And I'm Tarn Adams. We're the co-creators of Dwarf Fortress, inviting you to play Adventure Mode in open beta.
And we'll be adding tutorials and demigods later this summer.
While you're waiting, you can play Caves of Cud, the most intricate roguelike ever made.
Hello, we're Brian
and Jason, co-creators of Caves of Cud. After 15 years, the game is getting its 1.0 release later this year. But out
15
today
years
is the
of
spring
development.
multi-patch with its all-new UI. Live and drink.
And our final piece of news today is a whole new game to announce, a world premiere for the PC Gaming Showcase, Streets of Fortuna.
How will you survive in Fortuna? Will you be a thief? A cook? A smuggler? An artisan? A trader? The city is a richly generated sandbox, each citizen living their simulated life. Use knowledge to your advantage, romantically or politically. Live your other life in Streets of Fortuna.
Grit and Valor, Diesel Punk Dystopia, Real-Time Tactics. Is this turn-based? Not available for another year. Looks interesting though. Especially if it's turn-based. The award-winning detective saga continues. But what is with these graphics? Is it an indie game? Stardust! I worked there for its last 10, 11 years of existence. I don't care how good the graphics on this game just like turns me off.
That was the rise of the Golden Idol. Once
Why would I spend 40 or 50 bucks or more for a game with graphics like that when I can buy 10 of
It's a
them?
game from our friends at Hooded Horse that combines turn-based strategy with real-time exploration. Here's the new trailer for Every Day We Fight.
Every day we fight.
While our countries were at war, the Richters came. They put a dome over the city. Suddenly, almost everyone was frozen. Just a few of us were left.
Not soldiers, just ordinary people.
Top down. Top down from the side, actually. Moves into first person.
Are we alive? I could swear I just got killed.
I think we jumped back in time.
See what else she can do!
Don't miss.
More anime. Tales of Seikyo. Rarity parody. Was that a tree beast? It's a three beasts.
Velkomin í verndarvættatö.
I like that shot. Island of Winds. Return at that stuff doesn't appeal to me. Seriously, this is like 90s graphics. What the hell? Yeah, you can see what they did with all the tens of thousands of people they fired. What's up, Mr. Moss? Have you been watching this? I mean, literally, this is the PC games. It looks like it's a retrospective from games from the 90s and early 2000s. For most of these. Now see, this one is more updated. This is like a more modern game. Not a game that I'm not going to buy, but but at least this is modern. Let's say I can put the sound back
Windblown
on
will
here.
launch later this year into Steam Early Access. Player feedback is super important to help us craft a game that you guys will love to play. So join us on Steam for the latest
I'm just
updates
not
and
into those
information,
kinds of
how you
games.
can join in on the fun. See you soon in Windblown.
At least I haven't been into those kinds of games for like 20, 30 years.
Folks, we are in the final stretch of the 10th anniversary PC gaming show, but that doesn't mean we are winding down. We are
Been a
in fact
couple of good
amping up.
games, but for the most
We're
part,
wrapping things up today with not
this has
one,
been a
but
load of
two
crap.
world premiere
And you can
trailers
tell that they
in a row.
fired tens
It's
of
like buy
thousands
one,
of
get
people
one
from the
free world
industry in the
premiere.
last year.
No, Sean. That coupon expired in 1989, so we won't be
Oh,
getting
well, that's too bad, except, look at this! This is our 10th PC gaming show, which means I get a free world premiere.
Look at this guy! Thanks to Sean's Grandmaster level card play, let's check out two big world premiere trailers to cap off our show.
Well, let's hope these are good ones. Space games. Preferably. I saw a game with this kind of graphics of like a few years ago that looked pretty interesting. But I only saw it during the preview shows, and I didn't see anybody putting in any videos about them afterwards. This one at least looks interesting. I'm not going to get this. Not that I'm going to get this, but this is different and it looks interesting. Although, we really don't see anything about the playing. Come on, let's see a space game. A really good space game. It actually, it looks like most of the games were made by indie developers with one or two guys working on them. Literally, that's literally what most of the videos or most of the trailers that they've shown today look like. Alright, I'm guessing, I don't even know what's going on. I'm guessing this is like an arcade game. You're shooting at these things. I don't know. The guys who are putting this thing together are just horrible.
On
I mean,
the PC Gaming Show 2024.
for a lot of the
We had
games,
such a great time showing you all the exciting PC games.
that's enough of that. For a lot of the games, you had no idea what the hell was going on. I mean, they didn't show any actual play. They just showed like cutscenes and stuff. Or then sometimes they did show the it's hard to talk with these guys. So they either showed a lot of cutscenes and nothing on the play, or they showed some play, but they didn't explain it. There was one where thing where they had the developers come on. They didn't show. They started the presentation off with the developer sitting there and telling you that they played a game, and they showed you at the beginning. Well, this is what you're going to have at the beginning of the game. It was an RTS, and then they like started cutting to talking about tactics within the game, rather than telling us about. You can't tell people about the tactics you need to use to play a game until you've told people about the damn game. But there were so many other presentations where they literally you know nothing about the game. They'd show a couple of cutscenes, pretty pictures, and that was it. Not telling, I mean, they wouldn't tell you whether the game was an RTS, a first-person shooter, whether it was a role-playing game. Nothing. They just, it was just horrible. And like I said, these guys are getting paid. Some of these dudes are getting paid over 100 grand a year to do their stinking job, and they're not doing it. So tomorrow I'm going to do the
whatever, and published by Microsoft. Surviving of this.
All right, no enough of this. So tomorrow we're going to go and watch the Steam Fest, which is going to be on at, I believe, at 1 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow too. Steam Next Fest tomorrow, 11. Actually, it starts at 2. So I'll do the 12 o'clock one. Oh, part 2. All right, well, so 11 a.m. then. Ugh, that means I got to get up earlier. Take care of the cats before I do it, especially if it's going to be another 2-hour extravaganza. So tomorrow I'll get on and I will stream the Next Fest. Hopefully that will be better than this one. Hopefully. And then I'm going to get on tonight. I'll probably do Homeworld 3, a mission or 2, and then depending on how long that is and when I get on, if I still have time, I'll do like I might do another Elite stream, do some mining tonight. I have a lot of things. I have a bunch of work I got to get done right now. So once I get done with that, I will and have my dinner. I'll get back on and with Homeworld 3 later on tonight. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Or you can give us a thumbs down because most of the games that they showed were shit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and check out some of the other content. And I will be back in probably about 6 or 7 hours with a no, maybe not 7 or 6 hours with a Homeworld 3 stream. Till next time, I will say ciao, and thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me.